Hey, 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 happy Thursday. I wanted to share with you some information that I learned recently from this amazing 3-day event that I attended, the Best Year Ever Challenge. There was a metaphor that was used that literally blew my mind: emotional snipers. What are emotional snipers? I'm going to tell you. Hold on. So, think about a sniper. You never see them. If you ever watch movies, right? You see that the person got shot, and then they'll, like, after the person you never know where the shot came from. All you hear is shoo, shoo, shoo. Person on the ground, dead. And then they go to the sniper. The sniper's on the top of the building. They have snipers on top of the building. So when he used this term, emotional snipers, I was like, "Oh, tell me more." I was like, I was leaning in, like, "Oh, I'm ready to learn. Let's go." Okay, so I'm gonna cover some highlights of what stood out for me, and this was from day 2. I'm gonna cover all of this on Saturday, y'all, because it's so good. It's so delicious. I can't wait to share it. This year will be our best year ever because we are becoming a better us. In order for us to get better, we must lean into a few areas: faith trauma. Faith trauma assessments identify which areas to deal with: limiting beliefs, okay, our feelings. You can't fix what you can't find. The right prescription only works if you have the right diagnosis. We must determine correctly why something didn't go well in the previous years if we're going to maximize our current season. So you can have a future. Many people are being impacted by success snipers. Is that word? And destroying their development and sabotaging their success. Emotional sniper is a metaphorical term used to describe hidden or subtle emotional issues and triggers that can undermine an individual's personal or professional success. If I know it, it's an emotional issue. If I don't know it, it's an emotional sniper. Let me run it back. If I know it, it's an emotional issue. If I don't know it, it's an emotional sniper. You can have emotional snipers and still have some success. Emotional snipers don't stop success, but it does undermine it. Doesn't mean you aren't suffering, but it does mean you aren't soaring. The majority of the time, people are strong, wise, and informed and able to reach their goals, yet reading books doesn't address the issue of an emotional sniper. Coaching helped me, okay? And coaching will help you identify those emotional snipers, because you can't see it. Can you see a sniper? You never see a sniper till after they done snipe, they done killed up, they done took the person out, right? Emotional snipers. Think about it like that. Okay, I had to learn how to say no. Had to learn some things that will help my life. Okay, there are people who have books in their hearts and never released them. Sniped. You may have a book in your heart right now, never released it. Sniped. You may have a podcast in your heart, never released it. Sniped. You may have products and courses and things that you can monetize on, but never monetize on. Sniped. Something emotionally is holding you back that you cannot see. Limiting beliefs. There's some things that you can't see. You can't see everything about yourself. You cannot. That's why it takes a coach, a counselor, a therapist to help you see those blind spots. That's what they do. They help you see the blind spots. A lot of us try to do things by ourselves. And I'll raise my hand because that was me. I used to try to do everything by myself. You cannot do everything by yourself because you only know what you know. Confidence in one area doesn't mean confidence in another area. Confidence in one area does not mean confidence in another area. Are you around people who only talk about history versus being around people who are focused on the future? Status quo bias. You got to be willing to be misunderstood. And he used this term that I've never heard. You may have heard it before, but I never heard it. Sunk cost fallacy. It's a cognitive bias in decision making where individuals continue to invest resources such as time, money, and effort into a situation or a project because they have already invested in it, even when it's clear that the investments are unlikely to yield a positive return or that situation is no longer in the best interest. There are seasons where you must learn to cut your losses. You always reap where you sow, not always where you, let me say this again. You always reap what you sow, not always where you sow. When a horse is dead, dismount, by John Maxwell. Be okay with moving forward and releasing from the old that is dead. Something has me afraid to cut a loss. Be okay with cutting what is no longer fulfilling. Loss aversion theory. This is another term. It's a concept of behavioral economics and psychologically that describes the tendency of individuals to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. Some will hold on to the 10% non-toxic because they don't want to lose the person. Every loss is not a loss, okay? If they aren't adding value, every loss is not a loss. Some snipers don't show up until you get out of the safety, the comfort zone. So you may not be doing nothing outside of if you don't have a sniper, you're not doing anything outside of your comfort zone, okay? All snipers aren't immoral. Snipers are weights, not sins, but they definitely are weights. Sniper responses. Acknowledge the sniper, identify the source, determine the strategy. Good coaching model. What specific area or areas do I want to upgrade? These are some questions you can ask yourself. What options do I have or avenues can I take to achieve that goal? What do I need? Who do I need? And when do I need them? Obstacles. What are the current and potential obstacles in the way of my options? Do. What am I going to do about the obstacles and options? Real obstacles or perceived obstacles. What am I going to do about it? Symptoms of some emotional snipers. Status quo bias is a cognitive bias where people tend to prefer things to stay the same or maintain their current state of affairs. It causes people to be allergic to the unfamiliar. Okay. What else? Arrested by the assumption that I think people will think I'm trying to be small because I don't want them to think I'm trying to be big. Problem isn't the plan. The problem is me being a superior person. Our ability to execute is based on our ability to survive snipers, meaning I must own whether I'm suffering with the status quo bias. Okay? I'm going to stop right there. Symptoms of some symptoms of some emotional snipers are status quo bias. Unsuccessful think everything's a scam. Successful are scam aware. The successful are scam aware. All right. When you invest in you, you get some things that can't be taken from you. I can attest to that. When you invest in you, you get some things that cannot be taken from you. When there is a status quo bias, is it elimination or is it a situation of limitation? If I stay around like-minded people, it will get on me. That's why you must be around people that you aspire, like they're doing things that you want to do. You got to get around those people, because if you only stay around people that are not doing anything, you're going to not do anything also. Okay? Emotional snipers. It's so good. So good. I was like, oh my goodness. So now I'm identifying my emotional snipers. Like I'm just looking at this information. Okay, so what could be some emotional snipers that I'm not aware of? And maybe I have a conversation with my coach to see if they see some things, and they can ask me some questions about some things, or they can tell me about some things that they've noticed about myself that could be an emotional sniper. Because in order to have your best year, you got to be aware of the things that you're not aware of, right? Things that you don't know, the things that you need to know and don't know, you got to go obtain those things, because it's only going to hold you back. Yeah. This best year ever challenge was so good. I'm just so glad that I made the investment, which was time. It was free. It was a free event. You could have did the VIP, which was an investment. I did the free, and it was so much value. Like the value on it, priceless. So you gotta, in order to grow, in order to elevate, you gotta be willing to make an investment in yourself. And I'm here to tell you that you are a good investment. All right, you're a good return on investment. So I hope this was helpful. Happy Thursday.